Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Friday, December 13th, 2019. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Today, Friday, December 13th, is one of two discounted VAT rate days here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Until 11:59 p.m., all VAT-registered businesses are allowed to charge VAT at a reduced rate of 5% or 10.26% on the sale of eligible goods. With respect to vehicle purchases, VAT is exempt on the first $50,000. Any cost in excess of $50,000 attracts 17% VAT. Persons receiving duty-free concessions under the First-Time Home Owners Initiative are eligible for the discounted VAT rate. Eligible goods sold under credit or hire purchase agreement also qualify for the reduced VAT rate of 5% if the sale is concluded on discounted VAT rate day. Customers are advised to collect their receipts and review their purchases. Check their receipts to ensure that the reduced VAT rate of 5% or 10.26% was actually charged, and if they have been charged more than 5%, to bring it to the attention of the Inland Revenue Department. Saturday, December 21st, will be the second discounted VAT rate day for 2019. Meantime, the value-added tax VAT continues to be the single biggest revenue generator for the Nevis Island administration, which continues to streamline its VAT exemption policy. Premier of Nevis and the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley, made that disclosure when he presented the NIA's 2020 budget address on December 3rd, 2019.
Yes, we continue to streamline our VAT exemption policy and to grant exemptions from VAT only in respect of those matters as prescribed in the legislation. This tax, which is a broad-based tax, touches every sector of the economy, be it the sale of goods or services, and it is therefore a good indicator of the state of our economic performance year after year.
The Finance Minister explained that for the period January to October, the administration collected through the Inland Revenue Department $14.6 million from VAT on goods and services, a 3.9% decrease when compared to the similar period in 2018, when a total of $15.2 million was collected.
This decrease was due principally to the 4-month closure of the Four Seasons Resort and its effects on other related sectors of the domestic economy.
The collection of VAT through the Customs Department for a similar period in 2019 was $13.5 million, a 4.7% increase when compared to the similar period in 2018, when $12.9 million was collected.
This was due in part to the uptick in construction and its related services, resulting from the major capital investment in the renovation of the Four Seasons property. The total VAT generated for the period January to October 2019 therefore amounted to $28.1 million. Based on this trend, it is clear that VAT expected to be collected for fiscal year 2019 will be on par with that collected during the previous fiscal year.
For the fiscal year 2019, as at October 31st, the VAT accounted for 24.57% of recurrent revenue. As of Monday, December 16th, persons driving vehicles onto the Charlestown dock to drop off or collect packages will be asked to pay a fee of $2 for pier access. Manager of the Charlestown Port, Ken Pemberton, outlined the purpose of the new initiative.
It is like a deterrent, hoping that persons would, instead of driving on the pier for dropping off a letter to a vessel or collecting a letter, we are asking them to walk a little bit more so that they can ease the traffic on the pier, avoid congestion, because it can get very congested at times, especially in the afternoons when we have the boats coming from St. Kitts, the Sea Hustler with cargo. It becomes very congested.
Pemberton also explained the new process.
You have to drop your money in at the money box that is here attached to the at the entrance of the pier, and also at the bar will raise itself. So everything will be automatic. No one will be collecting. You just have to drop it in and the bar will raise itself. In addition to that, we are hoping that the public would understand what we are trying to do.
The port manager also noted that a monthly fee for businesses, taxi operators, and the persons who frequent the facilities will be implemented. He urged the public to cooperate.
Instead of being a daily fee, we are offering them a monthly fee for entrance to the port to collect whatever they have to do in terms of cargo and whatsoever. So please work with us as we try to provide quality service, better service for all in the island of Nevis.
Still to come, His Excellency Sir Dr. Kennedy Simmons to launch his new book on Thursday in Nevis. The details after this break. Welcome back. The Nevis Air and Seaports Authority NASPA is looking forward to working with international airline Cape Air, which reinstated its daily Sangwong Nevis service on Thursday, December 12th. Owel Brandy is the general manager of NASPA.
Recently, I would have had constant conversations with the Vice President of KPA. And having those conversations, as well as some of the things that KPA would have done since they came to make preparations, things like training our security and maintenance staff in certain areas, installing equipment at the Vance W. Army International Airport. I believe that they have long-term commitment in mind.
Cape Air is partnering with the Nevis Island Administration through NASPA and the Nevis Tourism Authority to increase traffic at the Vance W. Amory International Airport.
There are some significant things that are happening on the island right now, which will enhance this particular service and make it the success that it should be. I want to highlight just two of them. Of course, there is a cruise ship in the harbor in Charlestown right now. That has brought 1,200 passengers or cruise passengers to Nevis today. We're hoping that out of those 1,200, at least 1,000 might decide to come back. And once they decide to come back for a week vacation or 10-day vacation, their airline of choice, I'm hoping, will be KPA. So it means that KPA stands to benefit in that regard. Also, we would have seen over the last 6 months the renovation work that was done at the Four Seasons Resort. Quite significant, of course. And indeed, they are indicating that this season is going to be one of their best ever. Well, that will translate into passengers for you, I'm sure. I'm hoping that with the connection or the relationship you have with other major carriers such as JetBlue, United as well. So it means then you can go on those airlines' websites and book a flight, and it would connect you with KPA and bring you right here into the Vance Amory International Airport.
Deputy Premier, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers and Brandy welcomed the first passengers when Cape Air resumed its daily Sangwong Nevis service on Thursday, December 12th. The first Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and the national hero, His Excellency Sir Dr. Kennedy Simmons, will host two events next week to launch his autobiography entitled The Making of a National Hero. The book, which is already being considered a must-buy as a Christmas gift, has been released on Amazon and is available in Kindle format.
Once I got into politics, you find everybody has their opinions and everybody makes them, and they determine. Sometimes it's good, they like you or they don't like you. They determine whether you should do this or that. And when you have passed through that, all of that. Then at that stage, right, it occurred to me that, you have an opportunity still alive, still got your faculties, very good, you better write your life story, because it is important, and it became important for me to be able to define myself and not leave that for other people.
Readers of the book will get insights into important political issues, including the formation of the People's Action Movement PAM and the historic 1980 elections that paved the way for the PAM-NRP coalition.
I must always reflect on the important legacy of the Honorable Dr. Simeon Daniel, because it couldn't have happened without him. Dr. Daniel then representing the wishes, the clearly expressed wishes of the people of Nevis, had focused on the question of secession. And if you recall, there was an election in Nevis not an election, a referendum.
Yes,
It was a referendum. It was called illegal, but a referendum is a referendum, whether somebody calls it illegal or not. And the result was very clear, 90-something percent, 98% of the people voted in favor. So this is why I say Mr. Daniel obviously had a dilemma. The election results now presented an opportunity for the first time for Nevis to be an integral part of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, and to sort of refashion their whole relationship. And he was man enough, he was courageous enough to move forward with it, and what he had to do and how he thought about it is all reflected in the book. So I have to really always pay tribute to Dr. Daniel.
His Excellency Sir Dr. Kennedy Simmons served as the Federation's last Premier from 1980 to 1983 and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis from 1983 to 1995. The book also details the road to independence in 1983, the two commissions of inquiry, the 1993 election impasse, the state of emergency over the forced acquisition of his West farmlands by the Bradshaw administration, and his career as a medical doctor in St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, USA, and the Bahamas. Also making its way into the pages of Simmons's memoirs is his recollection of the Christina disaster of 1970. On Thursday, December 19th, the book will be launched at the Methodist Church Hall in St. Kitts, and a similar event will take place at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall in Nevis on Friday, December 20th at 6 p.m. Persons attending the launch ceremonies, which are open to the general public, will have the opportunity to have their books autographed. Copies will also be sold at local bookstores in Charlestown and Bastia. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing.